Hey guys, welcome back to OverTakes. This is Misfit.
And I'm Cal.
And we are here with, hopefully, nothing barred going on in the next hour and a half or day. Week 8 with 16 matches.
Hell of a way to come back.
Yeah, this is like March Madness. Like, I'm watching games all day, all night kind of thing.
Basically.
But we did have some other things happen. Obviously, other than, the current state of affairs and what's going on and all that. Let's talk about some of that first, and then we're going to dive into the week, and then, of course, we're going to have our pick show. It's going to be a little different since there's 16 games. When there's 8, 4, 10 games, we can kind of go through them all. But we're going to do it a little different. We're each going to pick our 3 best bets for the week, talk about those matches, and then when you go on social media, you'll see the rest of our picks. We'll just have them out there for you. Just because it's 16 games and it's a lot. I'm not going to watch them all. Saturday, I'm going to try and watch the majority of them if I don't get killed trying to do that.
Yeah, fair.
There's nowhere to go, but sometimes you have to interact with the other human in your house.
Yeah.
And actually do life things, but anyway, so we had some news. All right, so we didn't have the regular matches, but we had show matches, and it was all the showcase Echo. And I also think it was kind of a dress rehearsal to do like the remote stuff and all that. Did you catch any of those?
I didn't get a chance to watch much of it except the last map.
Sunday.
The last map of the Gladiators. Was it Gladiators and
Gladiators Shock? Oh no, Gladiators Valiant.
Yeah, Gladiators Valiant. I caught a little bit of that.
Which they decided to run goats.
Yeah, they basically ran goats with their coaches.
Which was hilarious.
It was hilarious seeing D-Pay playing Ryan and it was fun, and like there was the
Torb Hammer battle.
Yeah. The Torb battle.
I mean, yeah, they weren't taking it seriously.
Some interesting things, but yeah, it was just kind of okay, this is something that's happening. Like, it's okay to have on in the background or whatever, but I'm not like sitting down and invested in it. Yeah. Obviously, I was working, so I wouldn't have been able to do that anyway. But
yeah, I was home, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to watch this. I have nothing going on. I disinfected everything for like the 300th time. That's what happens when you're in the grocery business. But yeah, I watched the first match, and my God, does the San Francisco Shock just their players are just too they need to be nerfed.
It's insane. Like that team is ridiculous.
I mean, it was fun watching what they were trying to do with Echo. Yeah, there was a lot of ball and roadhog, which you're never going to see.
Right.
As far as we know right now. I mean, certain nerfs come in, or, hero pool blocks, you might see something like that. Mm-hmm. But it seems like that the tried and true thing, at least to start with Echo, is to go to a tank. It was a little hard to watch, though. I'm going to say that. Yeah, they were. It wasn't the normal broadcast thing. But Echo's weird to watch, especially in that broadcast thing when they don't have the team colors. Mm-hmm. Because, if you haven't played Echo on the PTR, if you're on console, or you could care less about the PTR and you're going to play her when she comes on. So, in the viewer, when you go to Echo and you hit your Q, and you switch to the hero, it turns blue. The problem is, when you're viewing the team that's red, it's still blue. And the other Reinhardt's got the blue outline or the whatever, so it's really hard to follow. But aside from that, we learned one thing, that the sticky bombs are psychotically overpowered.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not today.
Yeah, during that, they were, and they were for a little bit, and then they just nerfed them today. They dropped it, or at least on the PTR, they dropped them down from 30 damage of explosion to 25.
Yeah, I think for me, like after watching the pros play, I mean, we all are different. We don't have that kind of skill set. But to me, it's the way they shoot out.
Mm-hmm.
If they slowed down the increment as to which they go, so it's more like goo. Like when you're shooting a goop gun, like, if you're playing like Unreal or one of those games that has like the goop gun.
Or even like Torb's Alt.
Yeah, like that. Like a little bit slower. That way you can't land all 4 sticky bombs, because what guys like Sinatra and Rascal and Prophet, when they were playing, and even Fitz, when they were playing Echo, is they just landed all the sticky bomb shots and annihilated.
Right.
That's not to mention the tracking that these guys have with the fucking beam. Well, I think one of the biggest things that came out of it too was that you just destroy shields.
Yeah.
You shoot the sticky bombs at the shield, then it gets down to half, and then you shoot the beam and it just blows it up.
Mm-hmm.
That includes Reinhardt or Orisa or Sigma.
Yeah.
So they're basically saying, yeah, we're done with shields.
Right. Like, here's this character that is really good at destroying them.
But her kit, to me, seemed more overpowered than the ultimate that we all thought was overpowered.
Yeah, her kit is ridiculous.
I mean, okay, they've toned it down now, and it's probably going to get adjusted up, down, sideways. She's not going to be in PPR for a week.
Yeah, she's going to be on there for a while.
But watching these guys play her was amazing. Just some of the shit that they were doing was... I think one of the best things, and I think we kind of talked about this, is switching to Ana.
Ooh, yeah.
Especially if you lose the support and you got your ult up and you just clone the other support, especially if it's Ana, all you gotta do is throw a grenade in, and then you have Nano.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can run like you can Nano boost and just hold things together until the other supports come in. But it was fun. I mean, it wasn't anything to write home about, but it was at least competitive Overwatch to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, nothing too crazy. It was definitely just something to give us some kind of anything, because it's been so long.
And it was a good test, and we figured out that,
sure.
I don't think Mr. X is the best controller of the views and all that stuff, but... I mean, there were moments where it was kind of weird. And following Echo, I think these guys in the future, when we get back to reality, with this, following Echo is going to be hard for the regular broadcast, because it's weird to watch, especially when they switch into the ult.
Yeah.
They might change their visual animation just because of that.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's still like her alt. I mean, it's so unique. I'm so fascinated to see how it all plays out once she gets into the game and they can get some proper time with her. Well, instead of just kind of screwing around.
And I think we're figuring out, it's okay to go tank, but the tank players are like, oh, okay, you want to 1v1 me as Reinhardt? Sure. Right. Watch this. I mean, the only funny thing was Prophet fucking pinning Super. But generally, they whiffed on every shatter. It was like watching the fucking Outlaws and the...
the fucking Uprising.
Uprising play.
Oh, God.
Just gonna shatter into whatever.
Good old Clown Fiesta.
Yeah. But I think we're gonna see some different implications with that, too. I mean... It's going to force other teams to switch off heroes too.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's going to be some definite play, because they like to run clone matches. So,
right.
I mean, we're going to see.
I think she definitely adds a whole nother layer of matchup issues, or just matchup things that work, and I'm really excited to see it. So let's move on to the matches for the weekend.
Yeah. Well, first we had the San Francisco Shock dropping their championship skin.
Yeah, I still don't understand it.
It's awesome.
It's pretty cool. But it just does not scream San Francisco Shock to you.
No. Some aspects of it do because
there's definitely little nods to it and all of that, like, for sure.
And Doomfist is kind of based around earthquakes and shockwaves and all that kind of, stuff.
But, like, thinking of last year's with Winston, like, instantly London Spitfire.
Yeah. It had the colors.
It's the colors, the whole aesthetic of the of that, like, 20s to 40s
kind of English pilot kind of looking guy. The gun was they modeled it after a Spitfire gun from World War II. Mm-hmm. They had the propellers on it. They had all of the things that made you think of that. To an extent, they kind of did. Like, he's like kind of like cracked earth and like a earthquakey kind of looking dude. Mm-hmm. But the glove with the blue, that's what I don't get. No one has like said why the colors are blue instead of like the orange. Mm-hmm. The shock. I mean, I know they changed their colors. Even if you incorporated the new colors, which they're going silver, black, and orange, you could have done something with that. It just was a little weird.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, I'm not going to go out and purchase it, and I play Doomfist, but...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to buy it because I've never played Doomfist, and I probably never will.
I do. I fail, but he's somewhat fun. So... Because you can get a pick with him just because. Mm-hmm. You're really not doing anything if you can't at least hit one rocket punch or some kind of slam combo. He's fun to play. But the skin is good. Like, they had the logo on his forehead. It's okay as far as theming around the shock. Mm-hmm. But, like, overall, I think it's a really good skin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's just, the glove was weird. Like, if it had the orange and some silver on it, it would have been a little bit different, I think. They had the gold in there because I think that's, you equate the, championships and also San Francisco with the gold rush and all that kind of stuff in the 1840s. Mm-hmm. It's the gold city kind of thing.
Right.
So I kind of get some of that, but... I don't think it's a fail, but it wasn't the best. Apparently, Sinatra's is more, from what I've heard, is more shock-centric.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it was the opposite last year. Like, the winning one absolutely screamed, or like the winning team one screamed that team. Yeah. Whereas this skin kind of screams more Sinatra himself.
Yeah, it does.
And then I feel like with the Zarya skin that I guess we're gonna get for Sinatra's MVP one will probably be more team focused, which is interesting. I feel like this should have just been labeled as the MVP skin, and then they should have done the Zarya one.
Yeah,
but I guess the only reason I can think of is because Doomfist was more instrumental in the actual finals, whereas Zarya
was their
more
journey
instrumental
there
the whole rest of the season.
Yeah, this is true. But like,
and pretty much the reason that he won MVP in the first place is because his Zarya was just gross.
Yeah, but enough of that. Let's talk about the matches we want to talk about, and then like we said, we'll do it. We're going to do a quick pick show for Friday where we pick the bets and stuff like that. We're going to jump into our matches for the week, but first, there was an adjustment. It's not going to happen this week, but it's going to happen fairly shortly. 3 teams are moving their bases from the United States to South Korea just because the virus is kind of a thing right now. So Vancouver, who is based in Vancouver, and Seoul, who is in Los Angeles, and the Spitfire, who are based in New Jersey, are all going to Seoul to even out kind of some of the regional setups that they're doing with the 3 different regions, the Chinese/Seoul region, the West Coast and the East Coast. Because in this current state of the world, we would have just been having the 4 Chinese teams playing each other over and over again.
Right.
because of paying. I mean, you can't. So it helps out with that. They wanted to get, especially London, and I don't know what New York's going to do as far as basing goes, because New York's in a really bad spot right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they're on the level of like the whole country of Italy. So I don't know if they're going to stay. I mean, I don't know if they can leave.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I'm not sure how that
all
all is going to play out, but
so they're all moving. Those 3 teams are moving to South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about this week and the matches we're looking at. We're going to go with the first match of the weekend, which is 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. We knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
This is like March Madness scheduling. It's awesome, though.
It's kind of great.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. And, I'm probably going to... I wake up early-ish. I wake up at 8. The next set of matches don't start after those 2 are done at 4 and 6, respectively.
Yeah.
The next match is at, I think, 1 o'clock in the afternoon our time. So plenty of time to just set those up. And then we have 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, we have a 4-hour break again.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3. We have, let's see. No, wait, we don't.
Nope. The long break is between the Chinese games and the afternoon
the 4-hour
games.
break is between the final West Coast game and the first game on Sunday morning. Okay, I was reading that wrong. I'm sorry. But anyway, it's going to be an exciting weekend. We all are looking forward to this. But let's talk about the first match. This is the first shot that we get to see these Chinese teams. Thank God.
Finally.
And it starts off with the 2 teams that are kind of like I'm on the fence with, that could be good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know yet. So Guangzhou and Shanghai hit it off.
So
first.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about all of the Chinese teams right now.
Yeah.
Probably the one that I have the most confidence in is Guangzhou.
Yeah, so do I. I think Guangzhou is going to be really good.
I do too. I think they're going to be the best Chinese team.
Yeah, I think when the
where
dust
that's going to put them in the final standings, I'm not sure, but I do think that they're going to be really good, and I think Shanghai is going to be not as good as people are thinking they're going to be.
Yeah, I think that the thing that they're seeing is the flashy DPS.
Mm-hmm.
You have Ding Diem and Fleta.
Yeah.
Or not Ding Diem, Ding... Yeah, Ding Diem and Fleta.
Ding Diem and Fleta. Yeah.
I was thinking of Dia.
Dia.
Sorry,
He's
I got
contenders now.
Oh, God! Please, for the love of God, you're gonna have to bear with me when they play the Valiant.
Oh dear God, yeah.
KSP, KSF, Ding Diem, and Fleta. At least the Fleta helps me out.
Right.
But. Yeah, these teams are going to be, and we still have the same hero pool. And
like they have some good quality. I think what's really worrisome for the Dragons is their tank situation all around.
Yeah, their main tank situation especially.
Yeah,
I'm not sold on that being great.
Same. I mean. We just know so little about them. Like, yeah, okay, they've got Void as their off tank.
I'll accept Void as a above average off tank.
Yes, but I mean, okay, then you got Stand 1
and Fearless.
Is he on? He is not showing up on their on the active roster.
But he did come back.
Okay. Well, that doesn't really inspire much confidence.
No,
for being real.
Not really, because he got wasn't last year? Didn't last year he got sick?
Yeah, something like that.
So he had like health issues and he left the team. That's when they got Gamsu.
And that's when they looked a lot better. If we're being real, I don't know. It's tough to say, but I think they've got a strong a strong support line as well, and an incredible DPS line. And actually, it looks like they actually do still have Dia on the roster.
Yeah, he might be just available right now, just because.
I think he might be on a 2-way.
Yeah, I think he is 2-way, but not that they need him. But
right, not when you have
weird right
Ding
now,
and Fleta and DM.
With shit being the way it is, you don't know what can happen.
You never know. Yeah.
Yeah, I have way more confidence in Guangzhou. We get to see Nero play, which I'm going to be interested to see. What he's going to pull out. He's just one of their better players, and then they got their tank line's a little iffy as well, in my opinion. It's not horrible. There's a lot of unknown though with these teams. Especially with this in the next game. You don't know what to expect. We'll talk about who we're going to pick Friday in this one.
This is just a game to check out, because even if you know what happens, I just get the feeling it's going to be a good watch.
Yeah, and let's be honest, we all have a lot of stuff to do.
Right.
We have no stuff to do. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, like with Guangzhou, they've got a really strong roster. I think Nero is really coming into his own as being one of the top DPS in the league. You've got a really solid DPS alongside him in Eileen. They have a fantastic flex support in Shu. And you got Neptuno in there, good veteran presence.
Again, I think their biggest question is probably their tanks, but I have more faith in their tanks than I do Shanghai's.
Yeah, I have more faith in the because I know I've heard a lot about Krong. I've heard he's a really, really good off tank. Rio, I'm kind of on the fence with.
Yeah,
but
he's like I guess he is like a suitable, or just he's an acceptable.
But
player.
It plays into kind of yeah. He did more of the Alming stuff better. If we're gonna be honest, than the goats kind of stuff. Because remember, they went on that horrible losing streak last year. But yeah, I have more faith in, and also don't forget you have Happy as well. If you get in any kind of sniper battle or anything like that, which you could very well see.
Oh, definitely.
But there's going to be a lot of shields and whatnot, and so that's going to be a tough one. I do like them a little bit better than we talked about this at the beginning of the year before the year started. I'm a little bit higher on Guangzhou than I am on Shanghai. A lot of people have them top 5, and I see them in the playoffs, in the play-in. But Guangzhou is a team that I think can be solidly locked into the playoffs with the roster that they have.
I agree. All right, let's move on to the second match we wanted to talk about, and that is going to be the Chengdu Hunters and the Hangzhou Spark. Again, two teams we have not gotten to see yet. I always enjoy watching Chengdu because even when they're bad, they're still fun to watch.
Exactly.
And I get the feeling that they're not going to be great this year, but at the same time, maybe they could be.
Yeah, that's the thing. With hero pools, you don't know. You don't know what they're going to run. I mean, are they?
They're going to run ball.
Yeah,
they're going to run ball, and he's going to end up getting banned, and then they're going to really get screwed.
Yeah, but at least they have another tank now.
Amen is going to be the sole reason that ball gets banned at some point.
Yeah, but at least this week with the hero pool thing, we have 16 games and not 4 playing a part in pulling. And they also reworked the hero system with, the percentage of play, you get a certain amount of tickets in the hopper, which will be good. But yeah, Chengdu, I'm not high on either one of these teams, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't feel like Hangzhou did enough to get better. And then Chengdu, I'm just not I don't think they did enough to get better either.
They added a couple of people that leave. I think is going to be a good, I want to see him play because I've heard a lot about him from, here and there and people talking about them.
I mean, I'm not sure. I really think
their tank line is what's scary.
Still be fun to watch, but I'm not
because they may run Amang. I think with Ating. And they have Ating, Late Young, and Amang as their tank line. It's hard to say, we haven't seen him, but I'm assuming you're not going to see Amang as much as you want to see him. I mean, he is kind of like their face and all that, but at the end of the day, the normal, quote unquote, normal tanks, he's not that great on.
Yeah. I do think the one thing that always is in their favor is the chaos that they can create. They can really win. Yeah. They can, at any point, they can either beat any team or lose to any team.
This is very true.
That's always the interesting thing with this team, and I don't think there's really any other teams like that.
There's not.
Literally. From week to week, game to game, map to map, it can just vary so wildly.
They're very hard to pick. And it's one of those teams, like we always talk about the betting aspect of this. And if any of you guys out there are regular sports guys that are trying to figure out something to watch and you're picking up Overwatch League, there are certain teams and stuff that work. This is a team, like if you're betting,
you better be sure.
Yeah, there are lines you can look at and go, you know what? I'm going to take a shot. They're that team. You know what?
Yes.
They're a hunch team. They're like I think they could beat the Shock. They got really good. You got a really good plus. Probably against the Shock.
Really good map, or like a really good map pool. Like just things line up for them where it can work out. Really good hero pool, all that kind of stuff is definitely what this team is.
Like if they, for instance, if they had to play, especially with hero pools, if they had to play the Shock and say it was like the last round where you had a Reinhardt banned, I would give them, I would throw some money on them if they had to play the Shock or something like that.
Right.
Because they're going to do wacky stuff that the other team's not going to be able to handle.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about the Spark. Again, like they really are bringing back most of the team from last year.
Yeah.
Minus a few people here and there. Which, hey, they were a pretty good team. But I do think that they're going to take a slight step back.
Yeah, I mean, they finished fourth. They were better than I thought they were going to be. But
they had some really strong stretches. But there was just never a point where you were like, man, this team is dominating.
Yeah.
Like, they would just win games, but it was never like in an impressive fashion. It was just like, oh, hey, they won.
Yeah.
Like, they're like one of those teams in like baseball or the NBA that like consistently makes the playoffs, but they just never go anywhere.
Yeah. They might
win what this team reminds me of.
Yeah. They're a team that you're like, oh, somehow they made it to the championship game, but they're not going to win.
Not even like the championship game.
Kind of like the Titans this year. They remind me of that kind of team. Like,
yes.
I don't understand how they did this, but they're here. Okay.
Yeah, that is a really good comparison. Like Titans this year, the NFL Titans.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I did not specify that. Tennessee. It's like like the Atlanta Hawks. Every once in a while, you're like, okay, this team is
the Steelers the last 5 years.
Yeah, but like the Atlanta Hawks, like every once in a while they rise up and you're like, why are they here?
Right.
I don't see anything that stands out.
Yeah, I mean they've got a couple of guys. I think Godsby is really good. I do like Bouchouet a lot.
Yeah.
They've got some really solid pieces.
And from what I hear, Coldest is really good. But they're one of those teams that like they don't have like one guy that stands out.
Yeah.
But everybody's above average.
Way, but I don't think he's not like that much higher above anybody else.
They're like above average. Everybody's above average.
You look at a team like San Francisco, everybody's incredible, but like somehow Sinatra is even better than that.
Yeah, and if somebody slips slightly on their team, one of the other guys does something unbelievable.
Exactly.
These guys are just above average, which is not terrible. It gets you in the playoffs, where anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, is this my baseball team?
Yeah, could be.
They've just been winning for years, but they just can't get over that hump.
Yeah, but they don't have anyone that's like of the caliber of Lindor.
True. Very true.
Who on that team would be your Francisco Lindor? But they're very similar to the Indians, Cleveland Indians, if you guys are new.
Yeah, fair. All right.
So let's move on to the next game. So that's going to be an interesting match.
I'm very excited to watch that one. I mean, just to see any of these Chinese teams play finally is going to be a relief.
Yeah, and then we have the middle of the day on Saturday where we're watching the teams we watched for the last 6 weeks. You got Con Fiesta number 1, Toronto and Boston. Con Fiesta number 2, no, not yet. Paris, London could be interesting, but Paris is probably going to wreck. Florida, Washington could be interesting.
Yeah. New
York, Atlanta is definitely going to be interesting.
I think New York, Atlanta is probably going to be a really good one to watch. But the game we really want to talk about is San Francisco Gladiators. I hope that the Gladiators can make this a game. But
so do I.
I'm worried that they're not.
Well,
I just don't know. It's so hard to tell because San Francisco is they are a machine.
Yeah, and
I don't know how you stop that.
Yeah, and they're going to lose here and there.
Yeah.
They have they're so well coached, is really what it boils down. DP's a really good coach, too. Don't get me wrong. But
Krusty is like...
And he's in the miracle situation where he has all the people buying into what he does, and they're superstars.
Yeah, they're all incredibly talented.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is... Basically, as much as it pains me, they're the Warriors for the past 4 or 5 years. They have a great coach who walked into a situation where you had a guy who was just on the cusp of being great, and you come in and show them how to just explode. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. What it feels like it happened. It's a little bit different. Just because a lot of these guys weren't able to play the beginning of the first year. But it's still pretty damn close because DP comes in and he's just like, oh, look at all the things I can work with. Let's have
a lot of toys here, boy.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you got Sinatra, you got Super, and to start. And then you got Choi Hyobin, who season 1 took over for Nevix at a point. And then, you got all these other guys that they've picked up, like Stryker and Rascal and Architect and just all of the stuff. And they're just overwhelmingly good. And you can throw anything at them. The thing is map to map, they can say, all right, you know what? This isn't working. Let's put in Stryker and have him play X or X. Mm-hmm. It's just plug and play these guys into these different comps you want to run, and they all work.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Other teams try this, like Toronto or Florida or, some of the other teams, and it works to an extent, but with San Francisco, it's like nothing changed.
Exactly.
You say, take Toronto, for example. All right, we're going to run Logix because he's got a better widow than the rest of the team and this and that, and he does the hit scan, and it kind of works sometimes.
Right.
But when San Francisco does that, they just roll. It's like, all right, you know what? All right, this is a tracer thing, so we're gonna throw in Stryker, and then we'll have Sinatra play Doomfist or something,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but just the versatility alone is insane.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, with the Gladiators, I think we've only seen them play what, three games? Two games.
And both these teams played on the weekend, but you really can't count that for shit.
No, you can't. I mean, their coaches were playing, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. But
like, you just with this team, they just have they do have potential, and I do think that the roster, at least on paper, is better than what they've had in the past.
Yeah.
It's a matter of finding that cohesion and really having these guys step up. And I think that this is a good opportunity for them to go against elite competition and
at least show.
Even if you get blown out, if you can just hang with them in some way and then just find anything to build on, I think that can be a good stepping stone for them.
Yeah, exactly. Because there are 3 guys on that team that are elite level.
Mm-hmm.
In space, Big Goose and Chaz.
Yeah.
And that's a good core to work around. And like the main tank is kind of like a thing right now. You're not going to see Winston this week, so you probably aren't going to see Oj. To be honest, you're probably going to see Cloudy. They're rotating DPS, which is fine. I have no problem with rotating DPS. You know, and that's an easier one to rotate around and see what is going to work before you start. They don't have to fuck around with the sports.
Right. I feel like we didn't really get a full understanding of any of their DPS yet. I think they've still have a lot to work on, at least up to the last game that we saw them play, which, I mean, was, 6 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So
scarily
they've had
enough.
a lot of time to play together. So hopefully, I think they'll be a little more cohesive, and we're going to just get more out of this team.
Oh yeah, for sure. And because we saw more. Jaru was kind of like in there most of the time in Bird Ring. Mm-hmm. We did see some Mirror.
Yeah.
And Bird Ring did play pretty well.
Yeah, if they can keep Bird Ring engaged, I think that's a key for this team.
Yeah. If you get Bird Ring focused and playing like he kind of did in the one match, they had one match they played really well. Mm-hmm. It was so long ago, I forget. And they haven't played, so it's not like we can have this constant running conversation about how they looked. But if you keep him, like you said, you keep him engaged, I think they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, if you look at it, if you looked at Season 1, you said they have Space, Big Goose, Shaz, and Bird Ring now.
Right.
You'd be like, oh, well, so we're sending them to the finals, right? That's what's going on with this team.
Exactly.
I want to see what the DPS does on this team. That's the main thing. I mean, we know what San Francisco's going to do.
Yeah.
I want to see if they can hang with them.
Same.
That's my whole thing, and I want to see what the trio of Bird Ring, Mirror, and Jaru do, because that's the biggest question mark this team has. If they, and maybe main tank, but they seem to have a healthy system with Cloudy and Oj.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on to Sunday.
Yeah.
First game we're going to talk about then is Hangzhou Guangzhou. Again, we just talked both of these teams, but this is going to be, I think this is going to be more of a powerhouse game, I guess, at least from the Chinese teams. These are 2 of the better Chinese teams. And
we're going to see where these teams are at, I think, when they play each other.
Yes, agreed.
We talked about it, we talked about each of these teams at length in different matches, but them going head-to-head, I think we're going to see if Guangzhou can live up to expectations and Hangzhou can maintain what they did last year. This is the match. Chengdu playing Chengdu this year even is the same as last year. You don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly, and you really can't take whatever happens.
And I would throw Shanghai in that category too.
Yeah.
They're a wild card team. If, say, Fleta and Diem get hot, you're in trouble. But if, one of them are off, or Ding is off, or one of those guys are off,
or if they just can't get space because their tanks aren't able to do it. Yeah, like there's only so much factors, they can do.
But magically all of a sudden their tanks are playing something magical or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, they're Chengdu and Shanghai are wild card weird teams. And I think they're the two teams like that in the league above anybody else.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Because the Eastern Conference, where everybody's at.
Right.
More or less. Florida is middle of the pack. Washington's middle of the pack. Atlanta's kind of odd, but they're still above almost everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with New York. They're weird, but they're kind of above everybody else. They can kind of beat anybody that's on the schedule. But like in the West, the two wild card teams, and honestly for the whole league, to me are Chengdu and Shanghai. But enough of them. These are like the two teams that actually have. I mean, I'm not high in Hangzhou or Shanghai,
but I still think that they have potential.
Oh yeah, but by far
to be good. So I think this is going to give them a good chance to show whether or not they can really live up to what they did last year and continue on that. But at the same time, I think this is a really good opportunity to show the growth that Guangzhou has gotten to. Yeah, and I think that's what we're really going to see more than anything. Yeah, and I think Guangzhou is going to crush.
Yeah, no spoilers or anything like that. But I think this is a kind of in the hierarchy of the Chinese teams. It's Guangzhou. Mm-hmm. This is Guangzhou's chance to exert their dominance and say, we're the best in this part of the division.
Yeah, agreed.
Especially the way things are working now, where things got kind of like all wonked up. It's them saying, all right, you know what? We're gunning for this, and we're better than you. I think this is their shot to do that.
Agreed. All right, let's move on to the next couple of games. So the next game is New York-Boston. Not really much to discuss there.
Yeah.
Then we have Clown Fiesta number 2 of the weekend, Toronto-London.
Yeah. Always involving Toronto right now. I'm sad.
Yeah, same. But they are just not good.
No, this is a weekend where they could prove that, all right, we're not as bad as you think we are.
Right.
Hopefully. But we're not as good as we should be yet.
Yes. Hopefully
because of past performance. They should win this weekend.
Yeah.
They should.
They should.
Will they?
They should. Yeah, they should win both games this weekend.
Yeah.
For being real. Whether they will or not, we shall see.
Yeah.
Then
Mayhem Atlanta.
Your team in Atlanta. Again, not too much really to discuss there.
Atlanta should win this.
Mm-hmm.
But Mayhem's weird. They don't show up against superior opponents.
Yeah.
Yet. And I'm going to preface it with the yet.
Yeah, I think they've got potential. This could turn into a better game than expected.
If they get their stuff together and all that. And Atlanta, if they play anything like they did on the last weekend, it might be. But,
yeah.
Who knows?
Then next game we've got the Valiant and the Shock. Obviously, Shock are just so good. I have no problem thinking that they're just going to run a rough shot over them. But it'll be interesting to see the Valiant again, just because we haven't seen them for so long. I want to see if they can even hang with them at all.
Yeah, and then we can rinse and repeat in the next match where we have Vancouver versus Dallas.
Well, somehow even worse, honestly. As much as, the Valiant aren't a great team, but I think they are fun to watch.
Yeah.
Dallas is just a dumpster fire right now.
But they have the potential to climb out of the dumpster.
I don't have much faith until they actually do it on.
I just think they have a lot of young talent that needs experience.
That's fair.
I don't have any faith that they're not going to beat Vancouver.
No.
Because that team has talent and they have experience and they have Fisher.
Yeah.
Who has been sitting somewhere in a dark room for 6 weeks.
Right. Then we got the final game of the night. We get to see Soul again, but actually against some decent competition instead of Dallas.
Yeah. Soul Gladiators. This is going to... Unfortunately, it's going to be at midnight.
Yeah. So it's going to be happening after we're already done with our Sunday back cap.
But, I mean, the last 2 games of the night will be, but, it's okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
We'll recap those quickly, when we do our preview for week 9.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match is going to be good because, I mean, obviously we talked about the Gladiators. Soul, we saw them a little bit in action. They have some interesting things that they can do too. I mean, Are they going to run Marvel and or Jester together? Are they going to, run Michelle Gesture, Michelle Marvel?
Michelle Gesture sounds like an actress's name.
Or a drag queen.
Or a drag queen, yeah.
On RuPaul's Drag Race. Michelle Gesture.
Yes.
With Sharon Needles. I do watch that occasionally.
It's a pretty great show, I'm not going to lie.
Not going to lie. Nothing wrong with that.
But I mean, when you have Prophet, literally anything can happen because that dude is just that good.
Yeah.
Like,
he did make some. He did do some weird shit with Echo.
Yes,
he was having trouble. You know what? I think I was watching it, and he kept falling off the side on Night Market.
I think he was just fucking around with her, and he was like just trying to figure out where those limitations, like where those things are that he can and can't do. And
I don't think he had played her enough. After they nerfed that fucking thing that Libero exploited there, where you cancel out and you're going full speed. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to fly in. Nope. Some humanity from Prophet. He has to do it once in a while.
Well, yeah, the game didn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. Because there was a point where Sinatra's like, Prophet, can you stop shooting people? Because he was just like playing McCree. He's like, I'm kind of bored now. Bang, 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 bang. I'm not even playing a hero I'm allegedly good on.
Oh, man.
But the rest of it, they're going to be interesting to see.
I'm fascinated.
They're probably one of the most fascinating teams in the league, honestly.
For sure.
It's this super team, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
They're the fucking Houston Rockets of the fucking Overwatch League.
I don't think that's inaccurate.
They got all of these guys, and you're just like, oh god, they should do something. Are they going to do something? That's like in your next breath,
Yeah. When are you guys going to do something?
I think they can. I think this is.
But then there's going to be games where Prophet's just going to go off, and that's like equivalent of James Harden dropping 45.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah.
Against
like a really good defender.
Yeah.
You're just like, what? Huh? How did this happen?
Yeah. Like in the finals with Prophet.
Yeah.
You just did that. Okay. Well, I'm going to sit back and process this for about 10 minutes while the rest of this match goes on.
Yeah. I think he might have just broken them.
Yeah. He just broke everything.
Yeah, he really did.
Can you what I want to say, all right, since they changed the blink, what the hell is he going to do on fucking Tracy? He can like climb walls with her now.
Dear God.
I mean, he had that one pulse bomb he stuck on. Who the hell was it in season 1 with the Fleta? That's right. It was Fleta playing fucking Farah on Oasis. He went on the jump pad and off the top, and I was like, okay.
One of the nastiest plays I've ever seen.
Yeah, and didn't know you could do that, but okay. Let me try that.
Right?
Nope.
That's gonna be a hard no.
Yeah. And guys, just if you think you can hit those fucking sticky bombs consistently like these guys were doing, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
I've played because I love playing new heroes and trying to figure out what they can do. And yeah, you're gonna hit a couple on them, but the way people move in that league, the movement and the positioning and all that, these guys above you on that. It's like doing all the things with Sigma with these guys.
Absolutely.
And one last thing on Echo. I really wish they would kind of nerf the range for the sticky bomb, because you can shoot them from fucking Kansas at somebody.
Yeah.
Like, you can literally spawn camp them with that thing.
Well, with the change they just made today, it is not... If you land all 3, it is not an automatic death.
Which is good. It makes you have to work in... I mean, yeah, these guys will finish off with the beam. Mm-hmm. But still, like, average level guy isn't going to be able to get that combo. Before, I think it was just too easy to go in there. It was like when they first put Sigma on, and you do the rock and then your volley with your right click or left click, and the person was instantly annihilated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just had to pull that back a little bit. That's fine. I'm okay without the insta kill.
Exactly. Same.
Especially in this league too, because there's so much more that can happen outside of that. But anyway, okay, so we're looking forward to that match. I will be up really late that night watching that. I don't care. All right, guys.
Jesus Christ.
All right, guys. So that is going to do it for this week, and we're going to look forward to next week for a quick second, and you better have your pants on because we're going to season 1. We got 20 matches next week?
22 matches next week.
22 matches starting on Friday. So, we have 2 in the early morning, 4 in the evening. But yeah, so we're back. We have matches all over the place. I know a lot of guys aren't going to try and cover all of it. We're not going to try and cover all of them, but we're going to try and hit the ones because there's no way possible, even if Kel and I were at home, that we would have the brain power to sit and absorb 22 matches or 16 matches. Yeah. But with the power of YouTube, if a match is better than expected, we can go back in and watch it and give you guys some kind of an analysis on it, or takes, or anything that has to go on with it. But that's going to do it for this week. I just want to say, everybody out there, thank you very much. In YouTube land, podcast land, everybody stay safe. Do everything that you need to do to keep yourself safe. Wash your hands, all that kind of stuff. It's weird to be talking about that, but you know what? We want you guys to be around. So do all that stuff. We will see you on Friday with our pick show. Possibilities of I'm not working on Saturday, so I could be wandering around, maybe watching matches in the afternoon. Kel's not doing anything. Who knows? Could be playing something. Don't know what's going to happen. But thanks a lot, guys, for joining us. And we will see you on the next one.
Catch you guys in the next one. Later.